crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrunner.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of chaga coffee. Go to roadrunner.com, sign up for the free subscription on the left. Watch the video from yesterday about silver. Remember, gold is whacking against its all-time high. Silver is one-third of it. One-third of its all-time high. The silver-gold ratio is around 100, and there's serious shit going on right now in the silver market. We have a delivery month in July. Huge outstanding contracts right now. They usually fall off near the delivery. That's why they slammed the price of silver today and gold, but it looks like it's holding pretty well. A 2% slam is nothing. Back in the day, it was 10-15% slam in a day. All right, here's the deal. The takedown of the bad guys started on September 11th, 2019. It is the destruction, total destruction of the entire global monetary system. Good guys and bad guys need it because the good guys want to get rid of the bad guys and the bad guys want to get rid of the good guys. They think, well, the bad guys more want to cover up their tracks. They cannot have an accountability for all their criminal actions over the last 100 years. But the big but is watch silver. Silver is the number one destroyer of the banking system. There are 8 banks right now that hold the silver short, and they are in dire trouble. Because we're at the end of the second quarter, they're going to have to mark to market, and that means billions of dollars in losses. Billions of dollars in losses. Look at the silver futures. Look what it's doing right now. Boom, right here. Just yesterday, about 125 million or 125,000 contracts traded hands. That's about 625 million ounces of silver that is represented in these futures and options. Put this in perspective. That's 24 hours. That's not even 24 hours. That's a trading day. What is it, 6 hours, 7-hour trading day on the COMEX? Within that day, just yesterday, almost all the silver that has ever been mined this year on the planet, no, in the last 365 days. It's 800 million is the number. But it's going to be probably 2/3 of that this year because of the shutdowns. Everybody had to shut down for COVID. So let's say it's 700 million ounces traded this year. Not traded. I'm so excited. I'm just beside myself. 700 million ounces mined this year, and yet yesterday, 625 million electronic futures and options contracts or ounces were traded. That means the shorts are in deep shit. And there's only 8 banks, just 8 banks, that carry the vast majority, 90-something% of these shorts. This is exciting for us silver lovers because this type of bullshit ends when the COMEX shuts down. COMEX will shut down when they have to deliver. Let's check out where their delivery is right now. For the July contract, 48,000 contracts still outstanding. Yes, it all rolls over to the next contract, next delivery contract, which is in September, which is going to be another one. But this is still high leading into the delivery because that represents 250 million ounces of silver that theoretically could be called for delivery. Of course, nobody has that. JP Morgan does, but they would never give it up. And as a matter of fact, they're not short anymore. They're like hovering between short and long, according to Ted Butler. I believe them. They've gone long. They're giving the criminal banks, they're leasing out their silver to these criminal banks to cover their asses on deliveries. So most of the silver that's delivered in July will be leased from JP Morgan, meaning they got to pay it back in silver, not in cash. I think I know what JP Morgan's doing. They're getting the banking system so involved in this bullshit that they would have to bail it out. It won't just be JP Morgan's fault. It will be all these banks' fault. So it takes the blame off them by setting up their companions in the cabal. Jamie Dimon's an evil dude, man. Evil dude. All right. So very exciting in silver, gold. This is the 60-day gold price. Look at that. Boom. Gold's allowed to almost trade freely. Not really. I mean, gold should be $5,000 to $10,000 right now. Silver should be $5,000 to $10,000 right now because there's 6 billion ounces of each. And silver probably even more because it's needed in all this high-tech future. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about our high-tech future. I know everybody's tired of me talking about Theta. It started out as, this is an interesting company. Michelle Whitedove brought it to our attention. No, she didn't do the analysis of it. Her spirit said, hey, you want to get a crypto, get Theta. It's going into the thousands. And we're all looking at it saying, what do you mean? It's 16 cents. How could it go into the thousands? And those of us who have been diving in have figured out, holy shit. It is going into the thousands. And by the way, there's 1 billion Theta tokens out there. So the thousands means it's going to be $1 trillion plus coin. That's a big number. Why? Because it does something. It does something that everybody needs. It expands the broadband and data capabilities of the planet in a decentralized way so that the big guys don't have to pay for a centralized system that would easily cap out. Why do you think Trump's trying to throw $1 trillion towards 5G or a big chunk of it towards 5G? We're not ready. We don't have the infrastructure because it won't work in a centralized distributed network. It has to be decentralized. And that's what Theta does. It puts a little broadband share on every electronic device. And you're going to be able to earn Theta fuel by doing nothing. You don't need any Theta with an edge node. A Theta edge node, those are going to be installed on all the Samsung TVs. Wait for the Apple announcement. It is going to come. Apple's not going to let this baby slip away. They need to get involved, and they will be running a Theta validator node, in my opinion. But here's the latest news from Theta. Theta Mainnet 2.0 reaches 1,000 active Guardian nodes. Woo! Now, on Road to Ruta, you might have heard me say, no, they're just going to cap it at 1,000. That was the pre-Guardian node. So the regular Guardian node, I don't think there is a cap. But the cap is going to be when all the Theta are used up. What happens when all the Theta are staked onto Guardian nodes? What happens to the price of something that has little supply and massive demand? Exactly. Here's the article from Theta just posted. Theta Mainnet 2.0 reaches 1,000 active Guardian nodes and 55% of Theta is staked after just 3 weeks of launch. In 3 weeks, 55% of all the Theta that will ever be made, 1 billion Theta is all that's out there. 55%, over half of it, has already been staked, and everybody's scrambling to get their hands on a Theta Guardian node. Everybody's texting me, how do I get a Theta Guardian node? It takes a little expertise, but not a lot. You want to get a Theta Guardian node, go to thetatoken.org. It's right there, the first thing on their webpage. Join today, introducing Guardian nodes, revolutionary 2-layer consensus mechanism optimized for video delivery. And it's not just video. How does video delivery happen? It's through the broadband. You have to have the capacity for video on your broadband, and that's what's running out, especially with 5G and 5K video and 3D video and virtual reality, all of that stuff. And both the good guys and the bad guys on the investment world know that this is necessary, absolutely necessary to continue their world. So yeah, click on if you got to be a little crypto savvy, a little computer savvy, but not much. So go to thetatoken.org, click on join today, and it'll walk you down the path. But then you got to get your hands on some Theta and some Theta fuel. It gets a little more complicated, especially in the U.S., because the U.S. is blocking its citizens from investing in cryptocurrencies the best they can. So in the US, you can go to coinswitch.com, swap Litecoin or Ethereum for Theta, and get some Theta in your hands. If you're on the road to Ruta on the private road, I will give you the Theta fuel because it's harder to get. I'll give you the Theta fuel needed for the transaction to get your Theta Guardian node up and running. It's a tiny amount. It's like 0.0001 cent worth of Theta fuel that's needed. But as a gift for Road to Ruta members, I will give you the Theta fuel if you don't have any Theta fuel. And then you can get your Guardian node up and running. You need 10,000 Theta, which is today, let's see, what's the Theta price? 25 cents. So that's $2,500 worth of Theta that you would have to stake. And it goes in increments of 10,000. So once you get your Theta node, you can always add Theta to it. But the thing is, we're at 55% is already staked right now. What's going to, in another 3 months, maybe 80%, 90%? What happens when we hit 100% staked on Theta and they're still rigging the price to keep it low? Remember, the blockchain is for everyone to see. So everybody's going to look at this and say, wait a minute, if 100% of the Theta are staked, then how is it trading on all these criminal exchanges? And they won't deliver it because they don't have any. Now, the biggest exchange, Binance, where it's traded, Binance is a validator node, so they're creating Theta fuel while they're mining, while they're validating. So Binance will probably always have Theta and Theta fuel. The question is, what is the price? Yes, 25 cents is ridiculous. And it is going into the thousands of dollars, I believe, because it is necessary. Let me keep going on this article for a little bit, and then I'm going to do another Theta post for private road members. I think it's my fourth one to explain a little more because it's more. It's more than just, hey, video streaming for gamers. When you increase broadband, what can go over broadband? How about the internet? Internet 2.0. Why is Trump so big on pushing 5G? And I know all the 5G detractors. No, it's going to kill you, 5G. 5G is here to stay. I don't know what to tell you. If it's set up to kill us, we better hope the good guys have control of 5G, right? Or nobody has control of 5G. I'll tell you who will have control. If you have a Theta Guardian node, you'll be one of the controllers. But there's more. There's more going on in space for this 5G rollout happening this year, and it needs something. It needs not something, but exactly. It needs Theta, a decentralized content distribution network. Anyway, Theta Mainnet 2.0 launch has been a huge success with the code-based forking to 2.0 code without a hitch and widespread coverage of the launch partnership with Google Cloud. Yes, Google is in on Theta as well. They all are. But what's most important for the long term is the launch of Mainnet Guardian node staking, which brings in the Theta community to create a truly decentralized Theta network. This has totally exceeded our expectations, and in just 20 days since the Guardian node staking went live, more than 1,000 Guardian nodes have begun staking. In all, almost 55% of the CoinMarketCap circulating supply of Theta is staked, totaling 478 million plus Theta. According to staking rewards, that would put Theta in the top quartile for staking percentage of all proof-of-stake protocols. Not bad in the first 20 days of staking. Guardian nodes are widely distributed worldwide as seen in the Guardian Monitor, a community-run site tracking Guardian nodes. Yes, it is everywhere, mostly in the US and Europe, but also all throughout Asia. What's the point? Theta decentralized consensus. Why do all these nodes matter? Theta Mainnet 2.0 introduced Theta's novel multi-BFT consensus. And on the private road, I have a video on that, by the way. Community-run Guardian nodes now take a direct role in block production, finalizing blocks at regular 100-block intervals and making up a second layer of defense after the validator nodes that produce each block. So you don't have the centralization that you do in something like EOS. Whatever happened to EOS? I heard all the programmers have left. Couldn't have happened to a nicer bunch of people, let me tell you. With Guardian nodes joining the network and staking, now no single group or entity controls the majority of Theta staked, marking a significant milestone towards Theta's decentralization. Theta Mainnet 2.0 code is open source and can be found here. Guardian nodes will join the existing enterprise validator nodes running on Theta Mainnet 2.0, run by Google, Blockchain Ventures, Gummy Cryptos, and Binance. You don't think this is a big deal? Look at the market cap of Theta. It is number 39 on the list, the coin market cap list of the top 100. Market cap $200 million. How much, if you invented a solution to one of the biggest problems for content delivery for Netflix, for Amazon, for YouTube, one of their biggest problems is bandwidth. They're having a huge problem rolling out 5G. If you invented the solution, do you think it would be worth a little more than $200 million? Try $2 billion. How about $2 trillion ultimately? And then Michelle White Dove got it at $2,000 Theta. Yes, it's a $2 trillion coin. Why? Because it serves a purpose and fills a void and can change the way we live. We can move into that high-tech future that we always had dreamed about in the Jetsons and stuff like that. The Internet of Things does not come with no infrastructure. And think about money and banking. You can't not have cellular coverage in the wilds of wherever you are and still have an electronic monetary system. It's got to be global. If you are in favor of taking the bankers down, getting rid of fiat money, we need increased bandwidth. We need increased accessibility to the internet. This is the Internet 2.0. Believe me or not, it'll cost you 25 cents to get involved with Theta. Theta Fuel, it was created at 5-1. We all know that. I think Theta will run first, and then Theta Fuel will play hell of catch up. Because right now it's at 25-1. But there's not much use case for Theta Fuel. Use case for Theta? Absolutely. Get yourself a Guardian node, the foundation of the World Wide Web back in 1990. Imagine if you could get yourself in on the World Wide Web in 1990. That's what this is. So yeah, Theta is needed for that, not Theta Fuel. A little bit, tiny bit. But in the future, yes, the entire world will need Theta Fuel and will be mining it on their electronic devices for free. And that will be used. So the use case of Theta Fuel is coming. The use case for Theta is already here, and it's going to blow sky high. I'll talk more about that on the private road later today. All right. Again, you can get your Guardian node at thetatoken.org. You're going to have to learn how to do it yourself. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, can you do this for me?" No. First of all, I don't have a license to buy and sell cryptocurrencies. And Theta, it wouldn't fit into a license even I got it in the U.S. because it's really not allowed to be traded in the U.S. yet. It will be on Coinbase. It's something coming down the line. It will be on every cryptocurrency exchange if they even stay in business. I don't think they will. But here's the other big thing. Yeah, everybody talks about Theta as broadband, high streaming for gamers and all that, and then Netflix and YouTube. 5G is a huge problem. And with Trump's latest announcement that they're going for $1 trillion to spend, and a big chunk of that's going toward building out 5G, everybody knows in the industry that that's the problem, the bandwidth. So Elon Musk, who should have been in jail a long time ago, but somehow evades the jail thing, is putting up a massive array of satellites, 5G satellites, in our lower atmosphere. I'll be talking about this on the private road as well. And I have a place here in the private road section Oh, but yeah, it's Word Wednesday with Paige today. Paige is Word Wednesday. Go to Instagram, Bix Weir, and you'll see a video of me and Paige talking about another cool word on Word Wednesday. Paige is doing a great job. Make sure when you go on Instagram to like and follow. Follow the Bix Weirs. Bix Weir, you see my cartoon face on it. All right? But this article right here, this page on Road to Ruta is all about theta. All about theta and theta fuel. And I am giving away right now. I was giving away 10 with a coin. I ran out of the Road to Ruta coins, so I'm giving away 100 theta and 100 theta fuel already loaded, preloaded on a paper wallet. So even if you don't know anything about cryptos, this gets mailed to your front door. You put this in your safe and you hang on to it. And this is another lottery ticket, giving away lottery tickets for the future. It's 100 theta and 100 theta fuel I give away with every private road subscription. The private road costs $2.99 for a full year, and you get all the access to all 3,000 articles in the past, and you can learn about gold and silver and the Grand Canyon and all kinds of good stuff. And I have a theta page. I'm doing a lot of work on theta, and I know a lot of Road to Ruta members are getting into theta because they see what I see. Do you see what I see? All right, there's your theta commercial, and the reason I'm doing it is to open your eyes that this is much, much, much bigger than just a crazy cryptocurrency that promises to do something but that never ends up doing it. Some of you guys know what token I'm talking about, but I won't say it because I have some friends in that other token that keeps promising the world, if you build it, they will come, but they never end up building anything. Theta is doing it, hands on the ground. They're doing it every day, and it is so big. Yes, I am selling Litecoin for theta. Not all of it, but a big chunk. And then at some point, I'll jump back into Litecoin when the monetary system starts falling apart. But Litecoin and Bitcoin and all the currencies are going to be fighting against the central banks. I don't want to be in that fight. I'm tired of having the correct analysis and yet having to fight to prove and fight people who control the markets. Theta is different because both sides, the good guys and the bad guys, want it to happen. If there's any pullbacks, it'll be very short. And the runs up will be very big because the good guys and the bad guys also want to get in on it. The mega trillionaires want to get their hands on some theta. Or they will when they understand what's going on with 5G from space. 5G from space absolutely would benefit from theta, which I'll talk about later in the private road. But we do have AOC won her election in New York. And everybody say, how could this happen? I think it's wonderful. We need to be shown what stupid socialists look like. When you have good, the only way to have good is to understand bad. The only way to have a good republic is to understand what a socialist, how they act, what they do, the brain capacity. In order for people to be smart, there have to be idiots. There we have AOC. I'm glad she won because she's an example of what happens when you turn into a socialist. Of course, the Democrats rigged the election for her. They had to. Nobody wanted her. But that's besides the point. It's their election anyway. It's the Democrats' election. It is insane. It is insane. No, I don't think the good guys went in there to try to help MCC beat AOC. They could have. They could have gone in there and said, hey, no mail-in ballots, no criminality in this election, which they will do with the Trump election. But I think they wanted AOC to be in the spot to shine a spotlight on what could happen to our country if the socialist mentality works and wins over the vast majority of the public. Right now, they're finding out how fast it fails in Seattle. Everybody's running back to their basement. Who was, camping out in the summer of love It was that the mayor is just completely off her rocker. We have the summer of love in Seattle. Oh my God, that place was a pit. And then all of a sudden, everybody started murdering each other. So they're breaking it down right now, and everybody's headed back to their basement. But we need that. America needs to understand that utopia of socialism is a false promise. And it always has been. Socialism has killed more people than anything else on planet Earth. Socialism and communism, yeah, it's so great. Everybody, we all make the same amount of money. Everybody's equal, everything's equal, blah, 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 bang. Implodes, murder, death, destruction, and then everything falls apart and you start again with capitalism. Do we have to go through it again? Probably. But hey, I'm gonna speak out. I hope you guys are speaking out too. One more thing. We are talking about and planning and getting our heads around doing a big tour. And we were going to do one with RVs and Bitcoin Ben and all that gang. And they're more than welcome to join along. It just didn't come through. So Road to Ruta family is going to be going on tour this summer from town to town. Now, we have not planned out our route yet, and we're going to be on the road for probably a month or two. This is just in the making, so I want you to think about, if you want the Road to Ruta road show to come through your town, we need help from Road to Ruta members on the ground that have, all we need is a place to do it in each town we go to. And then to spread the word locally, and obviously I'll spread the word on Road to Ruta. We will also be getting sponsors. So if you want to promote your business, we will have a sponsorship program, and they'll go on the playlists and all our paraphernalia. I'll talk about your project if it's good, or your business or your YouTube channel or whatever, and we're gonna get money to pay for the events so we don't have to charge people to go. So that's the idea. So think about it. If you want the Road to Ruta Roadshow to come through your town, think about where we could set up. And I would figure plan on 50 to 100 people at each place. And then it would be a couple hours of show, and hopefully we'll get some food going and drinks and have a party and talk about freedom and talk about cryptos and talk about silver. And talk about the craziness of our world and sing and dance and celebrate life outside of quarantine. That's the other thing. We're going to have to go to states that aren't on crazy quarantine, most likely. So the Democrats are coming with Quarantine 2.0, so just hang in there. But anyway, more information on that later. But if you're interested in hosting or getting a spot for us, we'll just show up. We got all the equipment we need. We just need a place to play, so to speak, and to set up shop. All right. And again, if you would like to get 100 Theta and 100 Theta fuel mailed to your front door, loaded on a Theta paper wallet, hit subscribe today and join the private road at Road to Ruta. And that's all I got for you today. Don't forget to tune in to the Instagram Word Wednesday. The word is fractional reserve banking. It's 3 words. 3-word Wednesday. Fractional reserve banking. I discuss it, what it is, why it's important, and why it's bad, and why it's about to implode. It's Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. I'll talk to you later.